Hallo mensen, welkom terug my YouTube kanaal. No. So I just want to talk about becoming. So the process of becoming is a very, very hectic one. It's one that my 15-year-old self could have not imagined. And those dreams that were made by that 9-year-old or that 15-year-old that I was then are still very much valid, and I love them and I want to accomplish them, and even more, even the dreams that this grown-up self has. Those dreams had timelines. They had at 21 I should be this, at 23 I should be this, at 25 like I was straight up like, okay, 3 years degree, honors, masters, PhD, minimum 2 years, 7 years. I'm like a doctor, y'all. I have a PhD. But life doesn't work like that. But then that little girl that grew up and realized that those dreams are still valid, they still can come true, and they will come true. But just the pressure of the timeline is so drastic that you end up feeling like you're not moving forward. Because again, those are dreams that you made at 15. So that 15-year-old girl could have not anticipated COVID, could have not anticipated the death that happened, the mental breakdowns that happened between now and between being 15 and being 22, almost 23. So in other words, there's so many things that that child could not foresee. So her dreams and her goals, as valid and as beautiful as they were, they're unrealistic. The vision that that little girl had was based on the way that that little girl saw the world, and quite frankly, the world wasn't anything like this at that time. And you're also trying to figure out what is it that you care about, what is it that is most important to you, and what is it that you're willing to live for. So there's so many things that that 15-year-old did not know. So screw the timeline, screw the vision. It's so poor, it's so bad, it's so unrealistic. Because even the 15-year-old self never thought, oh yeah, at some point you're just gonna need a timeout from the rest of the world or any of those things. So what I'm learning now at 22 is to take it slow. Let's sit down. So that's just one of the biggest projects I've had 2020, is to draw a different map, a different route that still goes to the same dreams or accomplishments or things for myself, and being okay with however long the predictions say it's going to be. One of the things that I've learned is to not only surrender my plans, but to make them, to renew them, to start again, and to be okay with meeting someone, for example, you, that 15-year-old, is like, oh my god, so how far are you with that thing that you wanted to do in your life? And being like, well, thank you for listening to that 15-year-old. That 15-year-old appreciated that. Appreciated that his dreams and goals were listened to. But hey, let me introduce you to the 22-year-old who has a completely new set of way of doing things, way of thinking about life and perspective, basically, because of so many different changes that that person's gone through, so many realistic ways that they have seen life, so that I'm not guilty for those dreams or those visions not being fulfilled. You want to keep principles, you want to keep goals, you want to keep life experiences. It's not my responsibility as a 22-year-old to accomplish the dreams that a 15-year-old had. So I literally am okay waking up and saying, I have not achieved this, I've not done this, I've not done this, I've not done this, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this, and so many things. And actually, I've started this habit of every day writing 10 things that I have failed drastically at in my life. That has to be things I've tried though. Right? And then I have to write 10 things I've never tried, that I wish I could have tried, that I wish I had the opportunity to try, that I wish I could make happen. And within those 10 things, what I then do is I formulate a new map. These are the things that I've failed at. Out of the 10 things, what are the things that are fundamental for me to grow and to become the person that I want to? And how am I going to retry them? Out of the 10 that I've not tried them, what's my plan? How am I going to try them? How am I going to make them happen? In a realistic way, not in that 15-year-old way, in a realistic way that, okay, maybe I'm going to need 5 years to perfect this. And let's get started. I want to retire early, for example. Well, you haven't really done much to contribute to that. Okay, cool. How do we change that? There's so many things that you could do to start the life you want, but then you have to let go of the things first you've accomplished. Don't hold on to them. You've done them, period. Leave them. Like, if you wanted to have a car or get a degree or amend your relationship, you've done that. Pet yourself, move on. So just having that mindset of not dwelling so much on the things you've accomplished, learning to dwell both on failure and on things you want. It's a difficult thing because we meant to over celebrate our achievement and regard our failures as just a stepping stone for our achievement. But that's BS. Like, the things we accomplish are things that we've tried and failed and did again, or sometimes you do it once and you pass, and that's okay. But like, me reminiscing about how great I was in that exam and how much I nailed that test, or how much I had a great relationship with my friend or with my mom, or the question is, how do I keep that relationship great? The question is, how do I keep my relationship with God on spot? The question is, how do I keep my relationship with siblings on fire? How do I keep a relationship with myself healthy? How do I make sure that in 10 years to come, I have this kind of life? How do I prepare? So it's a continuous look at things that you do not have. And unfortunately, gratitude is given so much more respect than dreaming, because gratitude is basically what we function on, the things that we already have done. It's like, I'm thankful I have this, I'm thankful I have this. But switch that around. I'm grateful that I can dream about having this. So if anything you take from this video is, one, reset your mind to appreciate failure. If you're going to become the person that you dream of, you've got to start worshipping failure. Like, not worshipping, like, you get the point. And that is every day. Like, have things that you can write down as, I failed at doing this. And that is an indication, my friend, that you are trying. You're trying hard. You're going above and beyond. You're trying things that are unnatural to you. You're trying things that are hard for you, things that are bringing you out of your comfort zone. Because how frequent your failure is also a good measure of how often you try new things, how often you try using different methodologies and all of that concept in order to create the life that you want. I hope this kind of puts a little bit of courage and motivation in your heart to make a list of things that you've never tried, that you want to try and do. Like, put accountability down, and you'll be shocked. The more new things you try, the more failure stories you have to share, and the more success stories as well. So get out of your comfort zone, do the things that you're scared of, pick one thing this month that you want to master, and let's comment it down below, and I want to try it too. Bye.